Next up is a sustainable product that will save time and money during a common household chore.
Hi, Sharks. My name is Billy Osmus. I'm from middle of nowhere, Hampton, Iowa. Today, I am seeking $250,000 for 5% of my company, Repaint Studios. Let me paint you a picture. You're finally painting that bedroom you've been putting off for the last 6 months. You've got your playlist on, your roller is ready, and just as you're about to start, the dog starts barking. And then you're getting a phone call from your mom. And the kids, they're suspiciously quiet in the other room. So you tie a plastic bag around your tray and you call it a day. But the next morning, your paint is as crusty as a pancake. Your paintbrush is now as stiff as a board. And now you have to run back to the store to buy everything all over again. Now multiply that by millions, Sharks, because every year it's likely there's over 240 million plastic paint tray liners that end up in landfills. Sharks, say goodbye to dried up disasters with the Repaint Tray. The Repaint Tray is the first reusable, heavy-duty silicone paint tray liner with a lid. It comes with a heavy-duty metal tray, the reusable silicone liner, and an airtight lid. So when chaos strikes, just put a lid on your paint tray, and it's good to keep your paint fresh for up to 21 days. And the cleanup, easy. Let the paint dry, easily peel it away, wash with soap and water, and you are ready to roll again. So Sharks, who wants to seal the deal and paint a brighter and greener future?
That's pretty cool.
And we are back with another Shark Tank reaction video. I am your host, Dave, a 10+ year intellectual property attorney dealing with everything from patents, copyrights, trademarks, and trade secrets. And this is actually a pretty interesting one. It was started slow, and I'm like, okay, what's the novelty? I thought it was kind of dealing with something with the actually paint on the walls or the cleanup job or whatever the case may be. But it's essentially kind of a paint tray that I'll be interested whether or not she has a patent on it. She didn't say it in the introduction, but this is something that, potentially could be patented based on some novel features there. But it seems like it definitely helps out not only with the cleanup, but also being able to kind of reuse your paint, hence the name Repaint. I'm curious to know kind of her backstory in terms of, do she have rental property or whatever the case may be? Was she a painter to kind of get her off into trying to solve this problem? But yeah, I mean, I have rental property and the paint dries, and unfortunately, you kind of, I would imagine that you waste paint that way, and it was a big problem. So it seems like what she has invented kind of helps out with that, but also with the mess of paint kind of splatter everywhere, whatever the case may be, and having this lid that you can kind of close off the tray not only kind of helps the paint in terms of the shelf life of it, but also reduces the splatter and the I guess mess that you can potentially make while you're painting a room or a house or whatever the case may be. So I actually like the product. Now, when I'm doing these pitches, it's 3 things plus a bonus that I look for. How simple is it? Looks pretty simple as it relates to the use for the consumer, the effectiveness of the product. A lot of times that effectiveness is based on the sales as well as the reviews of the product. And again, a $5 million valuation, I would imagine that she has a ton of sales for this thing. And then I guess the third one is the market. Now, we all know that, hey, people are painting every day. A lot of paint is being bought every day. Just think of the Home Depots and the Lowe's and the Menards and the home goods stores. So paint is a big thing, and it is a big market for it. Now, again, I haven't seen anything that kind of helps out with what she's solving for. So I do think it is a market for it. And not only is a market, I think it's an untapped market, which is a good thing for her. And then I guess the fourth and a bonus one is, are you protecting the intellectual property? She has a number of trademarks pending for Repaint. So that's a good one that I actually like, that she's protecting the trademarks in that way. From a patent, I'm actually interested. Lori typically is the one that's asking about, do you have a patent on a product? We'll see if that comes up during the pitch, but I think this is patentable if you can kind of get over, based on what's out there. I'm not sure what the art is out there and if something is kind of similar, but the actual apparatus itself is patentable subject matter, I'm saying. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not she has a patent on it and if she's making money to justify that $5 million valuation. So those are some of my initial thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I'm going to put this thing back up, but please hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm, as well as hit that subscribe button to be a part of the IP community as I'm pulling this thing back up. So let's go and see if she gets a deal. Let's go.
Thank Thank you. So you all have a sample of a repaint tray in front of you with dried paint in it, and you can see how easy it is. You clean it up yourself.
And to be able to clean up, it
so
seems like it's sweet.
It is. It's so satisfying.
How much does it cost you to make, and what do you sell it for?
So this retails for $39.95, and it used to cost me about $13 landed. I just renegotiated with our manufacturer to bring down the price to $10.50 per unit.
Kudos to you. That's a big
Thank
deal.
Yeah.
So, Billy, why don't you tell us what you're selling?
So I just launched last year. I'm just under $1 million in sales.
What are you going to do this year?
This year, we're projected to hit 1.3 and to make at least $300,000 off of that.
Can you tell us about you? What is your background?
I've always had a love for flipping furniture, and I started doing it in high school, and then Fixer Upper came out, and it literally made it on my bucket list to buy my own Fixer Upper, which we did in 2018. I did all of the grunt work myself. I had to paint every single surface, I swear, in that house. So I started my own small business of refinishing and refurnishing furniture, and that's why I had this idea. I had a need. I was losing paint. I was losing expensive paint brushes. I didn't want to keep running back and forth to the store, especially when I've got young kids at home. And so I wanted something that I could keep reusing over and over.
I have to say, this is what I love about America.
Entrepreneurship.
This is what I love about entrepreneurs. They look at a problem, they think creatively, and then they execute, and they come up with better ways for the world to work. And you're just awesome. I really love that. That's amazing. But I'm gonna bow out, because if anybody's got a right to play here, it's Chip and Joanna. I'm out, but I'm a big fan of yours.
Thank you.
What do you need from a shark?
So
And I do want to stop it as the first gentleman goes out. Man, this is why I love women. Women go not only get the job done no matter what, but they're going to kind of think outside the box and be creative. Now, I'm not sure if she still has a patent on it, but the fact that she's kind of created the solution, and I run into especially men in the construction world, they have all these issues, and number one, they either don't do anything about it or they do something about it, but they don't try to capitalize off the problem that they're solving, meaning that, hey, yeah, maybe they kind of come up with a product or whatever the case may be, or come up with a fix, but they don't try to capitalize off that fix in terms of like selling that product so that others can take advantage of, other kind of contractors or people in the construction industry can capitalize off of. But again, it seems like, what's her name? Billy from Iowa, Midwest. We're practically neighbors. I'm in the great state of Michigan. It seems like not only did she notice a problem, but she solved the problem for herself, and then she capitalized off that problem and came up with a product that now she's selling. Again, she just started last year, 2024. She made $1 million the first year. I'm not sure what she made off that $1 million the first year, but this year she's projected to do 1.3, and she's going to make $300,000 off that $1.3 million. So I'm not sure, like, what more do you want me to say about that? She has gone from doing fix and flips, which I'll never do, by the way. I'll just kind of pay whatever contractors to go kind of renovate my home so I can buy it or sell it, so I can buy it, use it as a rental property. But again, people do fix and flip, so I don't want to kind of harp on that. But she's kind of solved this problem. Next thing you know, within a year, she's making $300,000. And that, again, as the gentleman talked about, this is the American dream. And more people can do it. This is the whole point of this channel, is to kind of push those stories to the forefront and saying, hey, this is possible. You don't need to be a brainiac. You don't need to have a ton of money. You just need to know, number one, to have the network, and then the education, and then a willingness to do it. It seems like Billy has done that and has worked out to her benefit, and she's landing on Shark Tank. So even though the gentleman goes out, let's see if she gets one of the sharks to come in and give her a deal. Let's go.
the biggest thing is we are hitting massive growth with our retail partners already, with Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware. We also have international retailers that are heavily interested. Those deals are going to range anywhere from $20,000 to $250,000, and that's happening this year. I need somebody to come in that can just bring that expertise and be able to help us hit that growth.
So Billy, I'm just looking at the valuation because I think the product has merit. So $5 million and you're going to make $300. You're asking an investor to pay you 16 times your pre-tax cash. It's not a realistic assumption for 5%. I'm assuming you came here to negotiate. But I'll make you an offer. I'll do the $250 for 20%.
Okay, thank you for your
That's
offer.
actually
And Billy,
a fair offer.
let me tell you what I think. Very well made, great
Thank you.
product. I did a deal with a product called Paintbrush Cover, and it sold extremely well to both contractors and to DIYers. Yep. I think this will do really wonderful for you, but because I was in that business, I think this is a bit competitive. So for that reason, I will bow out, but I wish you good luck.
Thank you, Lori.
I have an offer here. I'm
Uh-oh.
gonna make you the 250 offer for 15%. That's it. It's simple.
Thank you for your offer.
I want to ask real quick, your other SKUs you're thinking about
Better than
building
Mr.
on top
Wonderful.
of for the DIY or contract, you know, what lane, where are you going? Where's the end goal here?
My end goal is to build a full paint product line, or paint supply product line. Bucket liners, you know, trim trays.
So this is just a beginning.
This is just the beginning.
Well, it's a beginning, but we're running out of time. What do you think about my offer?
Hey, man, you get a little
I
impatient
love
as
your
you get
offer.
older.
I would love to be able to hear from Chip and Joe.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh. Well, to be really frank from our perspective, A, we love you and this is great and everything you're doing is great. But I mean, this is a tough business, a tough space. And I'll say
but it's a
that
natural.
contractors are a really stubborn crew.
I agree
This
with
is going to
that.
feel a bit gimmicky. I've got a feeling, are we house divided? Why are you looking at me
think
like this?
because when I think about our retail,
I feel the
it's-
weight of her glare
You're
on my
not.
back.
I think I'm trying to think about our businesses. So my partnership, I have a paint collection. We do these renovations, but what we're really building is our retail footprint. I think from a business perspective, because we are contractors, I don't want to have to buy those times 1,000. Let's get a couple of these, and then that saves my cost long term.
It's
So for me,
very
I'm
interesting
thinking,
though, because the contractors that have adapted this, that do like it, and like you said, they are stubborn. It takes them a little bit of time to adapt something, and I'm sure you've experienced that. But the ones that have, they're telling their friends about this and saying, I don't care how small it is, you guys need to test it out. Like, it's saving me so much money. That's the biggest thing.
Does that change your mind?
No, I'm going to
Okay.
leave this to the sharks
All
that are
right,
on the
so,
table.
Billy,
Joe
the
and
good
I are
news
out,
is- the
but
good
as I
news
say
is-
that I'm out, it may be just me
No,
out.
Chip and
Maybe it's
Joe.
just me
Okay,
out and
would you
Joe's in.
guys-
Uh-oh,
I will say
Barbara
Miss
doesn't like
Perfect,
that.
you're Mr. Wonderful. Miss Perfect, she's definitely got her own money, so she can
right.
work this out if she needs to.
So what do you say? 250,000 for 15%.
Would you guys consider doing a deal together?
Well, I don't think they're interested.
I'm trying to understand in my ecosystem where this fits. Like what I sell is home decor, it's furniture, it's vases. And so I don't see this fitting on the shelves at the stores. I see it potentially with my retailer partnership with Target, but you're already in Lowe's, you're in Home Depot,
So
you're
is that a
Billy,
no-Joe?
listen, at this point, focus on Barbara because
But
otherwise
I
you're going to
love
lose that
you.
deal.
Barbara about to go
Look,
out.
you've got two valid offers. Barbara's 250,000 for 15%. I'm 250,000 for 20%. There's only one Mr. Wonderful. He's always worth 5% more. But anyways, you get to decide.
What do you think?
Before I say anything, I want to direct my attention to you guys because
could
You
be a
really want that
mistake.
fish, don't you?
That could be a mistake. Okay, I'm out.
Yeah, that's interesting that she did.
Feeling like a lonely fish swimming on the side here.
I'm out.
And you
It's
now
Barbara.
are the only fish swimming
I
on
just
the
want to
side.
tell a story really quick. When I quit my full-time job to pursue home improvement and to flip furniture, I was terrified. My husband came home from work and he brought me a coffee mug from Hearth and Home that said, actually, I can. And I'm sorry.
Good man.
That stinking coffee mug got me through the last however many years, because in moments that I doubted myself and that I wanted to give up, just pull out my coffee mug and drink my tea and coffee and just believe that actually I can do this.
Chip and Joe, have you got no heart?
You did it. I think that's what I love. And I love that you got that Hearth and Hand mug and that it spoke to you like that. What you're showing us today is someone who has talked to Lowe's, Home Depot, and Ace Hardware and are putting their product on the shelves. That's the hardest thing to do. You
Everybody
did it. You
dreams about
created
it. You did
something
it.
I've never
Right.
seen.
Come on.
So you did it. I want to be able to place it in a way that makes sense for you and that feels like a whole
Yeah.
category I have to grow. I love the product. I'm just, how it fits in our ecosystem is just a bit of an outlier. It's maybe too practical for where we're going.
Why don't you just buy 5%? I'll put up 10%
Uh-oh.
to give her the 15% because she obviously wants you in the mix. Or I could go it alone for the 15%. What do you want to do?
That's crazy.
All right, we're going to be in for 5%. We'll put up a third of the money. You cool?
Perfect.
All right, let's go.
Do we have a deal?
Yeah.
Deal. Fine deal. Billy, we did it.
Hey, man,
Congratulations.
she wanted Chip
go.
and Joe.
Barbara, well done. Thanks
Well,
for
I
bringing
knew
us
she
in.
wanted you.
Congratulations, Billy.
But I do think Billy, she's a rock star.
My
She's a
husband's
rock
demo
star.
day.
Of course.
Congrats, Billy.
I'm crying. These tears are for sure happy tears, and it solidifies all of the hard work that I've just put into this company. It's all been worth it just for this moment. I can't wait to call my husband. He's gonna have to get me a new coffee mug.
So why did
Bottom
you
line,
change your
Daniel
mind?
said, quote, do you not have a heart? And it's like all Joe and I are is heart.
You'll find a place for that in your line, I'm sure.
Absolutely. To have a great partner like you, it's a
Are you
no-brainer.
kidding? I'm not going to do a thing. You're going to work like crazy.
Man, shouts out to Billy, man. She wanted what Chip and Joe. I don't want to say Chip and Dale. Let's take a look at the website here really quickly and get you guys up out of here, man. We're 2 for 2. We're rolling. I will be at, just to kind of let you guys know, I will be at, it's a Shark Tank reunion conference where it'll be over 100 Shark Tank businesses. It's in January in Newport Beach, California. I will be the official podcast there. So, hey, man, be sure to be on the lookout for that. I'll be going live, interviewing different previous Shark Tank business owners. There's been a lot of them who've been reaching out to me saying they can't wait to see me there, meet me in person. I interview a lot of the Shark Tank businesses. And our first time, I know I went last year, and that was the first time meeting a lot of them at the one in Tampa, Florida last year. So again, this would be, I'm excited to go out to Newport Beach, California and kind of put a face to a name and meet a lot of people in person who I have talked to on a video interview. So kind of be on the lookout for that. And that's one of the other reasons you want to hit that like button, subscribe button, get that firsthand experience. So this is Repaint Studios. I love the fact that she has a pending trademark for Repaint Studios. So she put the TM at the end of it. She's amazing for that. So shout out to Billy for that. A lot of people don't do that. And then if you have a patent, that's typically at the bottom of the page. I'm not seeing anything. Woman on business. So shouts out to her for that. It's not a big deal. I don't want to say it's not a big deal that she doesn't have it on there, but I like, to the extent that you do have a patent or a patent pending on the actual product, man, please put it at the bottom because it can affect the actual money that you make to the extent that you have to sue somebody. So that's that. Again, she seems like she's in a lot of the home goods stores, the Ace Hardware, the Home Depot, the Lowe's. I would imagine that she's also selling this thing on Amazon as well as her own website. So shout out to Billy for that. I will reach out to her to see if I can get on the platform and kind of tell more of her story because it seems like she has a hell of a story. And it'll be interesting to kind of be able to pull more of that out of her. And she seems like she's kind of more or less going at this by herself and been extremely successful. So, man, shouts out to her for that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Hit the subscribe button to be a part of the IP community. We're 2 for 2. Let's see if we can continue on and go 3 for 3 with the next pitch, season 17, episode 3 of Shark Tank. You guys take care. Bye-bye.